All right, welcome to Coterminal Angles.
What are coterminal angles, Mr. Griswold?
Oh, I got it. Okay, they're angles that have the same initial and terminal side. So if I was, thanks, got me. So if I was to, maybe we should draw a circle here, and let's suppose that I had this angle right here. We said was maybe 45.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. So we've got our original angle here is 45, but if I went all the way around the circle back to this angle, in other words, I added 360 degrees to it, those angles would be the same.
So that yellow one you had and the purple one end at the same spot.
They end at the same spot.
Okay.
They start at the same spot and end at the same spot.
Right. All right. So that's essentially what we mean by coterminal.
Right.
Angles that end in the same spot. Could you go around again?
You sure could.
You could go around once and then again and then again.
Yeah.
What if you went? Oh, I'm getting excited here. What if you went backwards?
Ooh. It's the definition, same initial and terminal sides.
Okay. All right. So angles that end at the same.
Okay, so we said, well, if I start with an angle of 50 degrees and I want three angles that are coterminal to it, let's just start with, we'll look at our first one. Well, one thing I could do is just add 360, right? I could take 50 plus 360, and then 410 degrees would be coterminal to 50.
Right.
What if could I subtract 360? That would give me a negative. So I'll take 50 minus 360. Let's see, that'll give me a negative 310. Okay. Well, I've kind of taken the easy ones. Maybe I should do multiples of 360, right? We said if we went around and around and around, so maybe 50 plus 2 times 360. 50 plus 2 times 360.
In other words, you run around twice.
And you go around twice.
Okay.
Same spot, okay? So that's what, 720 plus 50, 790.
Yeah, another way to look at that, you could have just taken this one.
770.
Whoa! You could have taken this one and added 360 to it.
Yep.
And got the 770. And then add 360 if you need another one. Then add 360, add 360. Yeah, okay. Now, that sounds great. But until the textbook starts asking you questions about this, and then what they'll say is, find two angles that are coterminal, and this time the angle is given in radians. So there are two ways to do this one. All right, so I will do it the kind of harder way for what my students think is harder, and then you take it from there. So pi over 3. You said add 360, but this isn't in degrees.
Right.
So I'm going to say 360 degrees was the same as how much in radians?
That was 2 pi.
2 pi. So we could add 2 pi to this, or we could subtract 2 pi from this. Now, to add 2 pi, we're adding fractions here. So we'll go back and we'll do a little fraction review. This has a 3 on the bottom, and this one doesn't have a 3 on the bottom. So it needs a 3 on the bottom. So if I put a 3 on the bottom, I also have to put a 3 on the top. So now our common denominator is 3 from these two 3's. And on top, it looks like we have 1 pi plus 6 more pi's. 2 times 3 is 6. Makes 7 pi over 3. Does that make sense? 7 pi over 3 is one of them? All right, now if we subtract 2 pi, again, this one has a 3 on the bottom. This one needs a 3 in the denominator. So we'll put a 3. If we put a 3 on the bottom, we have to put a 3 on top. That's the algebra legal. So our common denominator is 3. And I think we have 1 pi. Take away 6 pi is negative 5 pi over 3. Now, what's the other way to do this one? If this really bothers you, what's the other way?
The other way that you could do it is you could convert your original radian measure to degrees.
All right.
Take pi over 3, convert that to degrees.
So pi over 3, and we want to change that to degrees. So 180 over pi, that's 60 degrees.
Okay.
So you could take 60 and
Add 360.
add 360, and you get 420. Or take your 60 and subtract 360, and you get negative 300. And then, since this was given in radians, I would guarantee if you're taking a multiple choice assessment, the answers are going to be in radians. So you'd have to take these and convert them back to radians, which if you do, you'll get those. I just like adding and subtracting
I
the
like
2
that
pi.
But if you're in a bind,
You
need
can't remember,
some-
you're like, I know I add 360 and subtract 360. Let's do it that way. Boy, that looks like a mess, doesn't it? Wow. And that has nothing to do with the okay, we got to get out.
Yeah, you gotta get
All
out.
right. We're idiots.